Dear students, in the last chapter we talked about the difference between minerals and rocks. We also talked about the various types of minerals such as the metallic mineral and non-metallic mineral. And then we also discussed that the metallic minerals are of two types, ferrous and non-ferrous. Ferrous, which constitute iron, non-ferrous, which do not have iron. And then we also briefly discussed about the various ways in which we can extract minerals. For example, by mining, by drilling, and by quarrying. Quarrying is when there is a big mountain. For example, in Uttarakhand we have lots of limestone quarry when we start blasting and take away the limestone. Drilling, like in the case of petroleum products or natural gas, we drill inside the earth and we extract minerals with the help of various pumping stations. And then mining is when you extract minerals either from the earth's surface, we call it open cast mining, or sometimes we go deep inside the earth's surface and extract the minerals, and there we have various shafts, and with the help of the pulley we take away the mineral ore. So in this way we covered the basics of chapter 3. Today we'll talk about the distribution of minerals in the entire world. I am sure that by now you must have got some idea about the various continents and the important countries which are the part of these continents. Now, minerals are, as you know, are found in different types of rocks. Usually igneous and metamorphic rocks constitute metallic minerals. The sedimentary rocks usually contain non-metallic minerals, and then sedimentary rocks also constitute the mineral fuels, especially the fossil fuels such as coal and petroleum. So different types of rocks constitute different types of minerals. To begin with, we start with the first continent, that is Asia, and we'll find out the important minerals which are found in Asia. Most of you have got a broad idea about the continent of Asia and the important countries which are a part of it. Now, important minerals found in Asia are iron, which is found in China and India. They are the leading producers. Tin. In tin, we have some countries like China, Malaysia, Indonesia. They are the leading producers in the world. China also leads in lead, antimony and tungsten. Some other important minerals which are found in Asia include manganese, bauxite, nickel and zinc. So these are some other important minerals which are found in Asia. Next continent is Europe. And you know Europe also constitute the European Russia, right? To the west of Ural mountains we have got Europe, European Asia, Russia, and the important minerals which are found in Europe are iron ore, and the countries where they found are Russia, Ukraine, Sweden and France. Then you also have some other important minerals found in Europe, especially the Eastern Europe and European Russia, and they are the leading producers of copper, lead, zinc, manganese and nickel. I hope you have some idea about these minerals as well. Next comes North America. It's a huge continent, and we divide the mineral distribution in North America in three major parts. The first portion is the Canadian Shield area all along the Lake Superior, and then the parts of Rocky Mountains, then the Appalachian Mountains, and then the Western Cordilleras. Mr. Sen, along the Atlantic Ocean you have got Western Cordilleras. So the Canadian Shield is popular for iron ore, nickel, gold, uranium and copper, whereas the Appalachian Mountains are famous for coal, and the Western Cordilleras are the home for copper, lead, zinc, gold and silver. Now we come to South America. South America is very rich in minerals. Brazil is the world's largest producer of high grade iron ore. And you know the importance of iron ore. It is a basic mineral for all the institutional and infrastructural developments in a country. We require iron ore. For the entire mechanization, we require iron ore. Chile and Peru are famous for copper, and Brazil and Bolivia are the world's largest tin producer. Tin is used as an alloy. As far as mineral oil goes, Venezuela, Argentina, Chile, Peru and Colombia are famous for mineral oil. South America is also famous for some other minerals like gold, silver, zinc, chromium. Manganese is used as an alloy with steel. Manganese helps the steel to get strengthened. The shelf life of iron is not much, but if you add some alloy like manganese, the iron can be easily, it won't easily get rusted. Then you have bauxite, which is the ore for aluminium. Then mica, which is used in electronics industry. Platinum, you know, is very famous precious stones. Asbestos used in cement industry, and diamond. So in this way, South America is a mineral rich continent. Next comes Africa, again a continent with lots of minerals, especially most of the precious costly minerals like diamonds, gold and platinum are found in abundance in Africa. It is a leading producer in the world. Gold is found in Zimbabwe, Zaire and South Africa. South Africa is the leading actually. Mineral oil is found in Nigeria, Libya and Angola. Other minerals which are found in Africa include copper, iron ore, chromium, uranium. Uranium is used in nuclear power plants, cobalt and bauxite. So in this way we find that Africa is also rich in mineral. Because of the poor economies there, some of these minerals have not been exploited properly. Next comes Australia. Down south we go now, and in southern hemisphere we got a continent, Australia. Australia is very famous for one of the largest producer of bauxite in the world, aluminium. It also has got large gold deposits, especially on the western side of Australia, and the names of these two mines are Kalgoorlie and Coolgardie. These are the two famous gold mines in Western Australia. Australia is also a leading producer of gold, diamond, iron ore, tin and nickel. Some other minerals which are found in Australia include copper, lead, zinc and manganese. We move further south and we have Antarctica. Though most part of Antarctica is permafrost, it is frozen, but with the help of the modern instruments, the scientists have found that there is a remarkable presence of some of the minerals. The geology of Antarctica is sufficiently well known to predict the existence of a variety of mineral deposits, such as the Transantarctic Mountains. You can see there, right? It is in the south central part of Antarctica. It is famous for coal. There are possibilities of coal deposits. The Prince Charles Mountains is famous for iron ore, and some other minerals which may be there includes gold, silver and mineral oil. Maybe in the future the scientists would be able to exploit the minerals in Antarctica as well. So in this way we find that this chapter briefly tells us about the distribution of some important minerals. In the textbook we are not going into major details. The textbook also has some very interesting facts on the left margin or right margin of the pages. I wanted to go through these very interesting facts about minerals, such as Switzerland has no known mineral deposits in it. That means Switzerland is depending on other countries for most of its mineral imports. Similarly, we find that the rocks which contain copper becomes bluish. It looks bluish color because after the chemical reactions copper become bluish in nature. They also talk about one more interesting facts which comes from Western Australia, that a green diamond is the rarest diamond in the world, which is found in Western Australia. In the next lesson, we will talk about India. India is also very rich in minerals, though we have paucity of certain minerals like mineral oil and natural gas, but India is very, very rich in many minerals. So we will have an exhaustive study, a detailed study about minerals found in India. In the meantime, I want you to kindly go through the chapter and revise the topics which are covered today. Thank you so much.